Hey leaders! This week in science, it is our last week together! Which makes me very, very sad, but it is also a beautiful time to celebrate all of the things that we have learned while together for these last couple of months. To begin our class today, I want us all to find a plant and to take a big breath in with that plant. And to remember the first thing that we learned about in science together, which is that when I breathe in oxygen from this plant. And when I breathe out CO2 that this plant takes in the process of photosynthesis, which is how it converts sunlight into energy. So that was the first thing that we learned. We learned about breathing with plants and how when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're having trouble breathing, we can take a breath with plants and it will help us calm down. Now we are going to take a look at all the other things that we have done together in this unit. So let's talk about fire, I said, while our forest burned down, while the air was thick and the sky was brown. Let's talk about creatures waiting to thrive in that post-burn world that is surprisingly alive. The Lewis woodpecker feasts on bugs who munch away at blackened tree nubs. The lodgepole pine begins a generation anew. In the heat of flames their seeds crack and stew. In this freshly bloomed land, child of a fire's hand, the Canadian lynx licks their lips, knowing that there are tasty hairs amongst the burnt sticks. Next, we learned about the warriors who have protected this land. For 12,000 years, it thrived in indigenous hands. We spoke the names of the first people to call this home. The Wascow, the Colwits, Multnomah, Clackamas, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Malaula, and bands of Chinook. These names we speak hold language, culture, people, and care, tenders, healers, and deep listeners. For generations, people were aware of the needs of the land, its language and song. These indigenous cultures know how to sing along. We learned a new and powerful word, to steward. It means to protect, to listen, to care, to share. The Native Americans are the original stewards of this land, and we have a responsibility to protect where we stand. For 12,000 years, tribes used careful fire to clear land, to allow new life to flourish under tender hands. But when Europeans came to these shores, they banned the use of fire, refusing to listen to those who were here before. So deprived of the stewards, the flames, the songs, and their native names, the forest has grown dense and weary, overcrowded and inflamed. So now when a fire lights, it's no longer slow and cool. It roars fierce and strong with a fury of 200 years of its tenders gone. But those same fierce flames will calm and fall, and a new forest will start with young plants strong and small. And just like you, the forest knows resilience in its core. She waits for us to listen, to steward, and to clear, so that she may begin anew, and we may release our fear.